Surfaroo.
Entertainment Plus presents
Peter Surfaroo.
Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Alice and Darwin. Through the South High Mountains of snow to the sunlit beaches of the coast. To bring out the real Australian in all of you, it's the true Surfaroo. It's Pete the Surfaroo.
Guys, and welcome to Peter Surfaroo, and today we've got a great story for you. We're on the set for Bad Behaviour, and we're going to start it off with special effects, and we've got our man here, Mr. Harry. How are you, mate?
Peter, pleased to meet you, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. We're all settled in here now. Special effects, it makes the movies look really hot. And exciting out there. Now, mate, tell me, how did you actually get into special effects?
I was actually happened to back in the early 80s, and I was working in a wrecking yard of all places, and actually got a phone call from Brian Brown, and wanted me to do a job for him when he was doing one of his first films called The Empty Beach Factory.
Mate, that sounds good. Now, with special effects, like we've got makeup crew, they have their little caravans and cart all their stuff around, so you must have a big truck to cart all the stuff around that we use on set.
Well, on each job we have, I got different sort of vehicles. When I go to do a rain job, I'll have a fire engine or a big wind machine which I take with me as well, or if I was going to go and do explosives and stuff like that, I'd have a smaller vehicle because we only have a small amount of explosives. Other than that, we mainly base ourselves out of big sheds and factory. We're making our rigs, etc.
Now, with special effects, a lot of people out there be going, geez, that'd be an unreal sort of job. Now, is there training for that? Do you have to go to uni and go to film school? Or is it something that we just know in here and we've sort of expanded and using our own ideas?
Well, my basic training was in my earlier days is I actually did an apprenticeship as a mechanic. And from then it kind of flowed on. So I think it's very important for anyone who's going to go and get into the film industry is do some pre-training on something, like especially do an apprenticeship. When they've got the basic training, then they can go and work in different departments, i.e. special effects. They'd probably go to a special effects school and probably approach the special effects coordinator and then move on from there.
Mate, that sounds good. Exciting job. Now, where has it taken you? What sort of films have you done?
Special effects has taken me all over the world. I went to China and worked on Crouching Tiger and Double Vision. It was a few years ago. I used to do all the crocodile hunter movies. I've worked all over Australia on different feature films. Basically it can take you anywhere. With the beauty of the film industry, you go to locations that you really don't know that do exist and do exist.
So if you're interested in a job, special effects, and of course you want to cruise the world, check out these great locations. Have fun while you're doing it.
That's right, and enjoy your job, and it gets better every day.
Mate, just one quick question.
Yep.
What was it like working with the Croc Hunter? Because he's a big hero of mine.
Scary.
Scary.
He's true.
He's true.
Yeah.
Mate, it was a pleasure speaking to you, mate.
Okay. Pleasure.
Good luck out there, and we'll hear more about you on the big screen.
Right. Thank you, sir. Woo.
Yeah, we've got Chris, the main producer of Bad Behaviour. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Now, being a producer in charge of the whole baby, how are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it, but it is very tiring because it's a low budget venture, so obviously you end up wearing a variety of hats as all of us had, but it's just coming together wonderfully. We've got a wonderful crew and they're really enthusiastic and really committed, and it makes it really worthwhile coming today, every day to work.
Now, being so committed with this job, which we enjoy to do, can you tell the viewers a bit about the actual movie?
Yes. Bad behaviour is generally about a bit of bad behaviour. So overall, we've got quite a few different parties or different individuals, and basically their lives just cross over we've got a bunch of siblings or brother and sister duo, Emma and Peterson, that end up going on a bit of a spree of axe wielding pleasure. And also too, we've got a cop, or two cops. One cop's basically searching for his wife who's gone on having an affair with some principal. Then we've got kids involved, and basically everyone's life gets touched by these two siblings in some weird form or fashion. And it's got a lot of laughs, a bit of violence.
Sounds good.
But I've been looking at the rushes so far, or the dailies, and it's been great fun. We've been having quite a giggle, really. And raising our eyebrows a couple of times at the wrong kind of moments. So it's all good.
So we've got lots of highs and lows, so it sounds really good for film. Now, just briefly back to one of those words that you said.
Yeah.
Some viewers out there might not know what it means. Rush.
Oh, rush, dailies or rushes. Basically what happens is that once you've shot for the day, you need to review the material that you've got. We are shooting on a digital format, which is the Canon 5D Mark II. And so we end up dumping it down to our data wrangler, takes care of it, dumps it down to a computer, and then it issues out CDs or DVDs for us to watch for the next day, so we know how everything's gone really, and we can review it and look at the takes that's been shot and all that. It's great fun. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like everything's sort of planned to do it. You've got to start from A right down to Z, and it's got to flow, because otherwise if it doesn't, it stuffs up and it just makes time just go longer, eh?
Oh, absolutely. And it's really like with low budget filmmaking is what we're an independent film. You definitely need to plan, and we have like 6 months prior to planning this whole exercise out so that it can run as smooth as possible. And also too, we've had some fantastic support from our local community, from the Gold Coast City Council, that have been absolutely amazing. But generally the community has been great in like providing either consumables, great food provisions, locations, just props, like we've got Harleys, cars, all types of fantastic stuff. So it's just been a wonderful experience. But a lot of pre-planning has gone into it.
Hard work. And the big one, our main actors.
Yeah.
Well known.
Yeah.
Who are they?
We've got our key main awesome dude is John Jarrett, who you would have to remember his fantastic performance from Wolf Creek. He's big, bad, scary in that. And anyway, he's playing not so much a big, bad, scary in this film, but I guess a bit of the hero at the end of the day, which is awesome to watch. And also too, we've got Dwayne Stevenson, who was the lead baddie in Gabrielle, a great actor as well. We've got Roger Ward, who you see from things like classics like Mad Max and Turkey Shoot, which are considered to be cult favourites. And we have Robert Colby, who is a wonderful local actor, and has also been on a variety of Australian productions and stuff like that. He's absolutely wonderful and debonair. Georgina Symes, who's a local actress who's treaded the theatre boards for quite some time and is fabulous as well. And also too, we have the wonderful baddie Lindsay Farris, who's come up from Sydney to perform the role of Peterson, and he is very wrong and very suave, and that is what we like in a baddie.
Well, it's great to see we've got a good cast of Aussies.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with Australian talent, it's there. And you know what? It's just a matter of figuring out how to use it in the right way. I was astounded. We went through the audition process, and thankfully we had such a wonderful turnout due to our casting director Claire Goodwin, who managed it all. And just the quality of actors and the calibre of actors that came through was amazing. We definitely have the talent, and it's great to be able to put that talent on screen, and so we're very confident it's going to come out looking pretty cool.
Sounds great. Now, also for the viewers out there wondering, wow, this sounds hot, I want to become a producer. So what do we start off doing first?
Start off doing a lot of accounting.
So we've sort of transferred from accounting and gone the other way. Do we sort of go to uni for this, or can we sort of learn it just as on set? Or
I think life, learning how to do anything in life is basically a combination of going, getting an education. That kind of definitely helps, but also too getting the actual on-set experience. And we've got quite a few people that, I've worked with, and what I've done also too is you try to accumulate as much on-set experience through volunteering yourself, finding, open positions to act effectively as, I guess, an apprentice to a certain extent. Because, you can learn it in the textbooks, but there's the whole thing of actually being on set and personally experiencing it. So, but, study's great. Get you warmed up for the real thing. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, there you go, guys. And we must let you go. Thanks for having a talk to us.
My pleasure.
Lots of things to do back there.
Yeah.
And we're going to go out and meet one of the actors, I think.
Awesome. Have a great time.
Don't go away. Woo! Mr. Lindsay, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much.
Mate, you dressed for the part?
Peterson, yeah, he just got shot up.
Okay. Now, another one of our main actors here. And how are you enjoying it so far?
It's been cool. We've had about 2 weeks on set, and we've had a lot of action scenes, so a lot of death and murder and killing and chopping up of people.
Wow, it's pretty gruesome stuff. Do you recommend it to the kids?
I would say it depends on how old they are and if their mother is watching and if she'll let them go.
Cool. Now, it's really good to hear it's an Australian production.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got lots of Australian actors, crew involved in the whole team. Now, to become an actor,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to get up in the ranks. But you're young.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
24, so that's really young to get in there. Are you looking at doing bigger stuff after this, going overseas, or are you quite content to stay here in Australia and make it big here?
I'm not entirely sure. It depends. You just go where the work is, and so I moved from the Central Coast to Sydney when I was about 16, and stayed with some friends and lived in a hostel for a little while, and then because of that, just started working and then following it where it goes. And a lot of work happens in Queensland.
See, that's good to know, because we've got Movie World here now and a lot of production. We've got good scenery up here, location shoots up here. It's a very hard life becoming an actor because, like we were talking with John before, that there is a lot of lows and there's some highs. But when we get up there, and the more better you get known, of course you're going to get more work.
Totally, and I mean, on a team like this, you audition and you just, when you kind of got a process and a technique down, then you just do your stuff, and then that's the job.
Now, your background, did you do like NIDA colleges, all that sort of stuff, or did you just get into film through practice?
I got an agent very young. I won a really small competition, and the prize was an audition for a big television series, and because of that, an agent spotted me, and that was when I was about 16, and so since that point, just kind of learn on the job by working with great directors. Joseph's brilliant, so you're in good hands with that sort of thing.
No, that sounds great. Now, learning your lines. I've heard a lot of different ways, like getting a tape recorder and just listening to it, replaying and listening, and then reading it out before you go to sleep, and the first thing in the morning to read it, and then it stays stuck in there. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that I just kind of learn all the bits in between, and the easiest way to learn lines is to say them. So just keep saying them 3 times a day at least. Talk them, and then after a month, they'll be there.
Cool. Well, there's some good hints for you out there. Mate, it was a pleasure speaking to you.
You too.
Mate, you look tired.
Thank you.
Early shoot tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You relieved, mate? We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Cool.
Brisbane, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Alice and Darwin. Through the south high mountains of snow, to the sunlit beaches of the Gulf. To bring out the real Australian in all of you, it's the truth. Surf with you, and
It's not all about being in front of the camera. It's about training, looking good, solid, mean, and ready for you guys. It's all happening. Pick the Surfaroo all the way. Yeah.
Guys, great pleasure. We're meeting one of the main actors here, Mr. John Jarrett. How are you, mate?
Not too foul.
Now, mate, you're a bit dirty there.
I do this for a living. What are you wearing that for, a bet? This talks you into putting that ridiculous outfit on.
Mate, I'm a lifesaver.
Yeah. Is it because you work out, you want to show off your muscles or something?
No, trying to keep it pretty down, mate.
Yeah.
Now, mate, the movie, how's it rolling on? Good?
It's an excellent film, yeah. It's called Bad Behaviour, and I get to play a hero cop, and I'm not the bad guy in this one, so it's a bit different, and it's brilliantly written and by this boy genius called Joseph. who can also direct, and he's 20, and it's kind of scary. But I think I'm at the beginnings of a rather special person.
Mate, it's good to see a lot of young talent getting up and starting off and getting into film.
I go back to Picnic at Hanging Rock, and Peter Weir was 28 and I was 21. There's a lot of people in their 20s then, you know. Yeah, so I tend to think that it keeps on keeping on. Like Greg McLean and Wolf Creek's a young fella, you know, and they never made films before, so I do tend to think that there's always a new generation coming through. Whether they're talented or not's the other thing, you know. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Mate, what do you think personally about Australian actors in the film industry?
Oh, I think Australian actors at the moment are probably the best actors in the world, you know, because you've got to go back to the Pacinos and the Nicholsons and the Brandos and who were taught how to act. But this current crop, I don't, there's the odd exception obviously, but I think overall we're a very talented bunch of actors going around at the moment, you know. It's a bit like tennis or football, you know, you get a wave of this sort of thing happening, and that's kind of happening at the moment, I think.
Mate, now you've done quite a lot of movies.
Yes.
What's the best one you've done?
I'd have to be Wolf Creek, as far as a horror film, I suppose, and a little known film called All Men Are Liars that not many people know about. I really think that was rather fantastic. Picnic, I look at this heaps. It's very hard because they're all different, and I've enjoyed most of them.
And also the viewers watching here would, the ones that want to become actors, are sort of asking themselves now, you're already up there, how do I get there? Like, do they have to have talent if they want to do it? Do they do it through a school? Is it passion because they already can act, or how do we do it?
I just think you get born to it. You can either do it or you can't, you know. Doesn't matter how you get there, you know. You can come up through pushing a broom backstage at some theatre or go to NIDA. If you're any good, you're going to crack it, and if you're no good, you won't. Just like, you know, you can play tennis all your life. If you haven't got it, you're not going to get there, you know. I think it's something you've got or you haven't got. It's my opinion. But I'd say don't do it, because there's two kinds of actors in Australia. There's poor actors and poor and famous actors. So unless you really like waiting or driving cabs, I wouldn't bother with it.
It's not an easy life, because everyone, when they see it, they see the limelight, they see the awards nights, and they see these actors there, but it's not continuous work all year round.
Not in Australia at the moment, because I think we're going through a bit of a flat spot, but I also think it's a bit of a change, you know. I think we're all pretty bored with what the government film bodies have backed over the last few years, all these cancer-ridden, miserable, smack-laden coming-of-age films. And I think that there's a push to get back to genre films, and there's a push to try and get the more resourceful members of the private sector to invest in our movies, which they should do, because we're a first world country, not a third world country, and we're a bit too established, and I'm a bit foolish for a bloke my age to go for a government handout. That's what you give students.
That's it.
So I think there's a change coming, but at the moment it's not. It's pretty crook. Plus the ABC, the BBC 5, I call it. You know, it's the Australian Broadcasting Commission that just screens endless pommy shows, you know. So I refuse to watch it.
Mate, you're right there, because we have got so much talent in Australia, and I'm all for Australian talent, and it's out there, and we need to get it out there more better known.
Yeah, you tend to get left in the backwaters with the people who are in charge at the moment, so we've got to get people in charge who are much more creative and much more diligent and understand the business better than the clowns who are pretending to run it at the moment.
Sounds good, mate. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you, John.
Thank you.
Mate, you're relieved, you can go home now.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
See ya. Thanks, John.
Thanks, mate, that was
Mr.
great.
Joseph, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, mate. Bad behaviour?
Yeah, bad behaviour.
Director? Number one? Mate, how are you feeling doing that?
I'm feeling quite tired at the moment, actually. I'm a little bit cooked, but it feels quite nice at the end of the day when we actually have shot some stuff that's quite worthwhile.
Mate, now the role of the director, can you explain us what do you actually do, the difference between you and the three producers on set?
Well, I have complete creative control over everything, which basically means I stand on set and shout and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no a lot.
So you're the one with the stick, and if they don't listen, bang.
Yeah, I've got a great big stick and a seat so I can stand and just sort of point at anyone and give them a smack when they're not doing what I want them to do.
Mate, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, you've done a few other big movies.
A few other big movies. No, this is my first feature film that I've directed. I've done a lot of shorts and done lots of bits and pieces. I was a writer first, and I studied writing and I studied drama and theatre, and now I'm a director for some strange reason, and it's quite fun.
83 Bravo, take 2.
Now, mate, have you got any ambitions to venture overseas, or are you going to stick it out here in Australia and stick with this young industry that's getting up there?
Yeah, well, why not? I like Queensland. I quite like it. I don't really plan on leaving, but very soon. I'd like to build a very strong industry with everyone here and be just as good as everyone else everywhere else.
And the film industry is quite good, actually, because once you get into it, like networking and all that, people do actually help each other out to sort of get up and get more involved in the film industry, as I've noticed when I've been around the set here.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone does. That's how I did it. I just sort of annoyed a lot of people and made friends with everyone, especially Steve. And then Steve, one of the producers, and he introduced me to the other producers, and now we're making Bad Behaviour with Mr. John Jarrett and lots of other really cool people.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to become a director, what do you think's the best thing? Should we go to uni, or like you did, actually get out on a set, start off from the bottom, work your way up, and experience the whole thing? What do you reckon?
I think if you want to be a director, you just do what makes you happy and just try and direct a lot of stuff. The more stuff you direct, the better you tend to get at it.
Cool.
University is a path, starting from the bottom and working your way up. That's another path. There's no set way of actually doing it. I just I was a writer first, and a lot of people liked my writing, and that's why I was able to get to this point. And it's just because I was obsessed with cinema as well. But there's no definite way to become a director, I guess. It's all an individual path, and it's just do what makes you happy. That's all what I've always said. Just find what you like about it and just do that.
That's a great thing about film. It's all from here, and you love doing it, and every day is exciting day, a new day.
Yeah, a new day. And here we are at the end of today, nice and warm, yeah.
And one more thing now, because you're up there, you're a director of big film here now. Mm-hmm. Now you get the honour to going to these awards nights in Melbourne and Sydney and associating with these top actors and...
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's all good fun, it's all very nice. Meeting lots of people and dragging them onto your next project. Be my friend. Be on my next project. But yeah, it's all good fun. I prefer being on set though to all of that stuff. It's nice being on set, it's like coming home.
Sounds good.
It is good. It's very good.
Mate, I know you've had some big hours here.
Yeah.
I'm going to shake your hand.
Thank you very much.
And let you go and have a bit of a kip.
I am.
Because you're starting pretty soon again, eh?
Yeah, tomorrow morning actually.
Yep.
I've got to go and watch everything that we've shot today and then sleep and then wake up and do it all over again.
Cool, mate.
Why not?
Have a good one on me.
Thank you very much. Woo!
Hi Pete, I'm Robert Dawitt. These are my cats, Didja and Boomer. Thanks for having us on your show. We wish you all the success. And what we do is we have a channel called Catman2. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and we just educate people about teaching cats, because cats are teachable, and we encourage people to keep cats indoors and feed the right foods and spay and neuter and adopt, don't shop. There's plenty of wonderful cats at the shelter, like Didja's from the shelter, and saves a life, and that's what we do.
Well, it's that time again to say goodbye from Pete the Surfaroo and his team. Until we meet again, check ya.